Alright, so this video is going to be about how I have tried to kind of naturally increase my testosterone levels. There'll be timestamps, so if you want to skip ahead to the methods I've used, then go ahead. The reason I started doing this was because I saw the results people were getting from using steroids and TRT and stuff like that, and it's a bit frustrating because, you know, you spend a lot of time working out and doing things, and then you see that people can kind of, I don't know if I want to say cheat their way to it, whatever, it's their body, but, you know, engage in things that might be illegal or dependence forming or physically unhealthy in the long run and get great results which kind of, you know, obscure your own to some degree by comparison. Not that we should be comparing ourselves to other people in that way anyway, it's stupid. The best thing to do is just to, you know, focus on yourself and whatever. But regardless, if you're trying to make progress, then optimizing your testosterone levels is very important from a you know, fitness sort of bodybuilding point of view, but also it's just very important anyway for your general sort of overall functioning, your mental functioning, your energy levels, how well you're able to, you know, work, and your confidence, all sorts of things. So I started to think, well, okay, steroids give you a massive spike in testosterone, which is what leads to the, you know, unbelievable sort of ability to grow muscle and to lose fat and everything that it affords you. But there are many other things which are shown to give you a, you know, reasonable increase in testosterone without the same downsides as steroids. I should say, by the way, part of the reason I didn't and still don't want to take steroids is because I had gynecomastia when I was a kid, and I just didn't want to. I just really don't want to sort of risk, you know, that coming back. And also I had kind of, I've had sort of anger issues over the years and stuff, and I just think steroids would be a terrible idea. And I hate the idea of being dependent on it. Even getting on TRT as an older guy, it seems reasonable to do so when you're older, but I always think it shuts down your ability to produce it naturally. What if something happens and you can't have access to it, and you just can't produce testosterone anymore? You know, just to me, I don't know. I'm a bit put off by the whole concept of both of those things. Anyway, so I thought, yeah, if you could accumulate all of these smaller things that appear to have an effect, then yeah, you could effectively get maybe not the same but similar results without all the downsides. So I've been kind of going about that for the last few months, and I think I've had good results from it. And yeah, I'm still kind of discovering more things as I go and tweaking my methodology, but I'll go into it now. And it's not going to be too science heavy, this video, to be honest with you. Like, yeah, a lot of this is just kind of, we'll say it's my opinion. I've based my opinion generally on research I've found online. I will link as much of that as I can in the description, but I'm not going to reference it so heavily, and take it with a pinch of salt. You know, if you think I'm wrong or whatever, or you don't want to check the info yourself, that's cool. Like, I'm not asking anybody to take what I'm saying at face value, but I haven't really done anything in this video without actually looking into it first and seeing that there seems to be some degree of evidence to suggest that it will have results. So yeah, I'll put what I can in the description in that regard. But I'm not going to get bogged down in kind of going over all the science in detail in the video. I'm just going to say what I do and take what works for you. And yeah. So one of the first things, which I think has a direct and indirect effect, was quitting weed. I've done a lot of videos about that. You can check out my channel if you want to see some more videos about that process, how to make it easier, etc. I have a playlist in my playlist section on kind of sobriety in general, which is not something I'm a staunch advocate of by any means, but it's something I've been, you know, utilizing recently to good effect, I think. There is a belief that weed increases your estrogen levels and seems to have some kind of statistical link with gynecomastia. So you can probably reverse engineer that and, you know, figure out what's going on there. Not reverse engineer, I don't know what. It's incorrect use of that phrase. But anyway, yeah, so weed, that was, I quit that about, I don't know, 4 months ago. And regardless of any effect it might have in that regard, whether there is a chemical component to it, or if it reduces your testosterone or it increases your estrogen or whatever else, also resistance training good quality resistance training is proven to increase your testosterone levels, and I would say that being sober makes it much easier to consistently do good quality training, in my opinion. So for me, quitting weed has been a very important part of it, just an important part of living a lifestyle in general that is conducive to kind of productivity, physical productivity, getting good results, working out a lot and stuff like that. What else? Yeah, so that helped a lot. That helped me to train more. The other thing was I don't fully agree with the rationale behind NoFap. Like I understand it and I respect it and I appreciate that for some people it's a really good thing. I think some people will take it a bit far personally, and I do think that it's taken to an extent which is somewhat unnatural, but again, that's not really based on anything other than my own kind of speculation about the human body. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's good to go 100 days without coming. I just don't. But I'm open-minded about it. Regardless, and I'll probably do videos on that in future, but regardless, there is evidence that suggests that abstaining from coming for like shorter periods leads to a big spike in testosterone levels. So one study showed that after 7 days of abstinence, your testosterone is at 150% of what it was, and I think it plateaus at around that. It doesn't go beyond that kind of spike, but you get to about 150% of your natural level, and I don't know if it continues kind of evenly from there or what, but I personally find 7 days is quite a lot anyway. So I kind of tend to just reset every 7 days, more or less. I'm not like totally strict or religious about it. Yeah, and it's easy for me at the moment because I'm not in a relationship. I'm not pursuing casual sex or anything. I think it would have been, difficult in a relationship to do this. I was kind of doing the opposite then. Now, yeah, it's become an important part, important sort of part of my routine and structure. And what goes hand in hand with that is not looking at porn. Like I just realised how unbelievably unhealthy porn is, how bad it is for your psyche. Again, in my opinion, how bad it is for your psyche, your self-image, the way you look at other people, the way you think about sex, how addictive it is, the overstimulation, the dopaminergic effects of it, how tired it makes you. I just think it's so harmful, really, overall. So yeah, I cut that out, and yeah, I sort of reset like once a week, more or less. I feel that, yeah, whilst you get a testosterone boost from not coming, I do feel there are some downsides as well. I don't feel all the euphoria people talk about. I know you're supposed to wait longer. I don't really want to. I'm not that interested in trying really long periods because I struggle to sleep when I'm doing it. I feel like my blood pressure is very high. I don't feel very relaxed. It's good. It's really good up until a point. Like I feel great for usually around day 4 is like the peak, and sometimes I have so much energy and I feel really good, and I attribute a lot of it to that. But it can get quite difficult. It can be very difficult to sleep, and I feel not very relaxed, like often the day after I reset, I find myself laughing at things and chilling out more, and I realise like, oh yeah, maybe I was kind of like pent up and stressed or whatever. So yeah, I tried to maintain a good balance with that, and I feel that has been really important. I certainly think jerking off like 3 or 4 times a day is just stupid. It's not doing anything for your quality of life. It's fucking you up chemically. It's making you tired. It's making you depressed. It's making you an addict. It's making you a fucking simp. It's just bad. I just think it's really bad, personally. So yeah, I think that's one way a lot of people can make great strides, both chemically and kind of behaviourally, I guess. Yeah, another thing, trying to be cold. There is some degree of research on this that being cold induces an increase in testosterone. Also, I started to think of my balls as like being like a computer, you know, like when your computer gets too hot and it can't operate properly because it's trying to cool itself down because it has to kind of maintain an optimum temperature level. I think it's the same with your balls in terms of like testosterone production and semen production and stuff. I think they need to be at like they need to be kept cool in order to be able to function well, because I think this is, by the way, I know it's probably the most pseudoscientific thing I've ever said. It's possibly complete and utter bollocks, no pun intended, but this is just how I view it, and I'm just sticking to this. I think that they generate a lot of heat by functioning, and the more pressure you can take off them, the better. I do know that being cold, generally wearing looser boxers, allowing your balls to be kind of like colder, allows them to function better and you to produce more testosterone in general. I don't know exactly how it works, and maybe again I'm like, you know, talking like crazy shit, but yeah, that's how I approach it. So I used to wear always like tight boxers and stuff because I didn't really like my dick like moving around while I was sleeping, and I didn't like the head of my dick being exposed. I now use this product called the Manhood, and it like covers your dick, and it's like a stretchy material, so it can like stretch to accommodate your dick, and it's made out of a non-abrasive material, so that allows you to wear whatever you want. You don't have to worry about keeping your dick tucked in while you're sleeping. So yeah, I use one of those and just wear like really loose boxers or just no boxers or whatever. When it was a summer, I would have the fan down at the end of the bed anyway, so it's kind of like blowing upwards, you know. And yeah, I feel that's important and good, and trying not to have your balls like when you're sitting like packed in really tight, you know, inside your boxers, like overheating. And yeah, generally from what I gather, it's better for them to be cold or cool, you know. Yeah, next thing, cortisol production inhibits testosterone production. So it is cortisol is just like the worst thing for your mind and body. It's terrible. It's fucking cancer. It's just awful. Look up the effect cortisol has on your body, on your life expectancy, on the way you store fat, on the way that you look, the way that you age physically, on your testosterone levels, on depression, on anxiety, on your sleep, it's just so cutting out things that cause you significant stress, trying to meditate when you can, are obvious solutions. I also started taking various supplements to control cortisol and therefore hopefully indirectly increase my testosterone levels. So for example, theanine, I always take theanine with my caffeine. You can get theanine as a powder, you could put it in your coffee, or just I don't know if it survives in heat, but you can just take it anyway. It synergizes beautifully with caffeine, so it gives you energy, but without the jitteriness you get from caffeine. It controls a lot of that stress, so theanine is a really good thing to be taking. Theanine, I also take ginkgo biloba, ashwagandha, which I'll get to in a minute, but various supplements to try and lower my blood pressure, to chill me out, and to reduce my cortisol levels. And I think indirectly that has a big effect. And I try to meditate 15 minutes every day. And when you look at the effect that meditation has on reducing your cortisol levels, and you look at the effect that cortisol has on diminishing your testosterone levels, it's fair to put two and two together and say that probably meditating every day will to some significant degree increase your testosterone levels, and have obviously a million other great benefits. Yeah, ashwagandha appears to, there's some studies linking that with increasing testosterone levels. So I take that. It's also good for anxiety and stress. I don't know about ashwagandha really, to be honest. I've been taking it. Seems fine. I don't think I've had any negative consequences from taking it. I'm not totally sold on it either, but the research is pretty good on it, and yeah, I'm going to continue it for a while. I'm not like totally partial to it either way. Strength training in general, as I mentioned earlier, resistance training, obviously, like that's one of the best ways to increase your levels. Just good thing to do anyway. As for foods, there are many. Eggs produce contain a lot of nutrients like choline and various other things that are important, I think, for testosterone production. Again, I don't know. I know that it's generally perceived that eggs are a pretty important thing to eat as a man, so I try to eat eggs, try not to have too many fried ones, like boiled eggs and stuff like that. You can just boil a whole batch of them, keep them in the fridge, or make a mix in a bowl of like egg mayonnaise or whatever. Garlic has been shown in various studies with rats, I believe, to increase testosterone levels, and is just very good anyway. It's like antioxidant, antibacterial, it's good for your gut bacteria. It's anti-inflammatory, and garlic seems to be a pretty good thing to eat every day, like minced garlic, raw if possible. Onions, similar results in studies with rats, I believe. And ginger supplementation seems to show an increase in testosterone. There are various other supplements that do, some of which I'm not entirely trusting of, and I don't know, I kind of just figured out for myself which ones I felt comfortable with taking and which ones I didn't. There's not necessarily always a clear reason. There were just some, like for example Tonkat Ali, which is very popular at the moment and is being pushed quite heavily by More Plates, More Dates, for example, and Andrew Huberman. I don't know about that stuff personally, and I think I don't know, they're making some pretty good money from it, or at least I know Derek from More Plates, More Dates is, and a lot of people have had weird side effects. Some people have reported gynecomastia and things like that. I'm not sure the mechanisms of how it works are exactly clear, and I don't know. I don't know about that stuff personally. And same with testosterone and various other supplements of that regard, so I'm kind of avoiding those. But there are various supplements out there which have, often contradictory research, like ginger, for example. The research can be kind of contradictory in that regard. So I don't know, but I'm just kind of experimenting with various things and seeing what works for me. I also take some of them for other purposes, to like reduce inflammation and stuff like that. So I think it's important to do your own research on those and see what you're comfortable with taking, and also test them out, see how they work. And sleep is obviously massively important for optimizing your testosterone levels. It's probably the most important thing on this list, realistically. I don't think anybody needs me to explain too much about the concept of sleep, but if you do sleep badly, there are a number of ways you can improve that. You can see some of those in my book, which is available in the description. There's a whole section on sleep in there with a lot of readily available strategies, supplements, kind of choices, lifestyle choices you can make that will have a positive impact on your quality of sleep. The one thing I mentioned in this video that's very important is to make sure you're sleeping in a completely dark room. You don't want to be sleeping with the TV on, with lights on, with light streaming in from outside, any of that. You should be producing as much melatonin as possible, naturally producing as much melatonin as possible, not through supplementation, and just making sure to get to bed at a reasonable hour every night. Otherwise, all your efforts are wasted, really. There's no point spending time working out and trying to do things and then just operating at, at sort of deficient level all the time. So sleep is really important. Another obvious but helpful tip, I did a video on this as well, 5 ways I improve my sleep, so that's you can check that out. I'll put that in the description. But one thing from there as well is just reading. Like, just reading every night is obvious but also really helpful. I'm sure I've forgotten some stuff because I've been sort of working on all these kind of methods or approaches for a while and tweaking it and various different things that I do. I'm sure I've forgotten something. Maybe I'll add something to the end of this video, but if not, I'll do another video. I'll do a part 2, more ways that I've increased my testosterone. I don't know. I mean, I haven't fucking taken tests or anything. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure I have. I feel very energetic. physically and mentally. It's very easy for me to work. It's very easy for me to work out. I feel my results have been good. I feel, given circumstances, I feel pretty good, in a manner of speaking. So I'm happy with my results. And again, people can take all this with a pinch of salt, but if there's something in here that you think will work for you and that will be good, then try it out, and that's cool. You'll get something out of it. And if there's anything you've done besides like steroids and stuff, I don't really want to know about that. If there's anything else you've done that's been good, then let me know in the comments. Anything else you think's worth checking out, and if there's anything in this you disagree with, but I'm not really presenting all of this as completely factual. I'm just saying what I do and what I think has worked for me. So I've probably said that about 5 times now. But anyway, you get the point. I hope this was helpful, and take care.